Okay, everyone. Hi, I'm Dr. Gayla Gates, and I'm here with Mr. Ken Owen, and we are going to talk today about our beloved graviola and agravitae. So, thank you, Ken, for coming on and sharing with us today, with me today, I should say.
I love it. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, we talked a little bit before, but I really am curious to hear how are you blessed with the graviola farm?
Oh boy, here we go.
Let's hear the
Well,
story.
but by the way, I just say I love it how your head almost fits in the middle of the hands on our logo. Just what a great job. Look at that. Uh, so what happened is 9 years ago, I went to the country of Belize and I was looking for property. And I came across a farm on the mainland. We were visiting the San Pedro, the island. And so it was advertised as teak, mahogany, and citrus trees. And I'm from Oregon, so I know timber. So I'm like, I need to go look at this. So I went to the mainland. I did it on a Sunday morning. It was a little drizzly. And so it was a long drive from the airport. So it was about an hour and 20 minutes. And we get to the property and you're 2 miles up Pook's Hill Road, and it's just jungly and homes here and there. Then all of a sudden, there's this opening and this beautiful runway of a road with palm trees aligned to it. And you go, wow, this is impressive. So I end up at the farm right away. I just got a good energy about it. And so toured the farm with Abner, and Abner is still our manager to this day, and he had been there with the doctor for 5 or 6 years, I think it was. So we toured the farm and everything, and I was like, "There's got to be a story to this place. It's absolutely beautiful." And so it took me about 6 months. About no, what was that? That was about 4 weeks, and I was in touch with the doctor. And unbeknownst, he's a doctor out of Chicago. He's a head and brain or neck specialist, and his category, and he traveled the world and very well adversed. And he went to Belize and bought the property as 160 acres of orange trees only. And he and his wife went down every winter and he bought all the surrounding property and planted teak, mahogany, coconut trees, and just a variety of things. And so over the course of about 16, 17 years, he took it to from 160 acres to 500 plus acres. And so his wife walks out the door and passes of a heart attack. And so now he's selling the property. He's 72 years old, and he says, I'm getting too old for it, and I lost my mate, and it's tough on me." So we conclude a transaction over the course of 6 months of doing a due diligence and everything. So he calls me up, and we're closed in escrow. He says, "Mr. Owen," he says, "congratulations, escrow is closed." He says, "But I want you to look at the soursop. You have 2,000 trees of it, and it very well could be your future." And I go, "Soursop, never heard of it." He goes, "Look it up. You'll figure it out." And what am I doing? Literally, I'm on this computer right that we're on right now, and I'm looking at soursop, and I'm so impressed. I'm like, whoa, look at what this does. So for doing diseases, and it just goes on and on. So what do? I run to the farm, see Abner. That was the next week. And Abner takes me down and shows me the soursop trees, and they were small trees at that time, and tells me a story of soursop and how our property is where the Mayans lived. And they lived on our property. And there's artifacts at our property from the Mayans. He says, "Mr. Owen, they traded this fruit back in the Mayan days." And that was emotional to me. What history,
Yeah.
what value right there. So we basically took the farm from being 2,000 trees, and over the course of 3 to 5 years, we did infrastructure and everything and bought more property down the road on the Roaring River and basically expanded it so we're the world's largest farm of soursop trees to 85,000 trees. And through this process, we actually came across the need for the leaf to be made into tea. So we brought in the world leading tea master, Nigel Milliken. Nigel spent 10 days down there. Nigel is his own brand. So Nigel does not put his name on anything, but he did for us. He goes, "Ken, you have something." He says, "I am 70, I think 77 back then, 78." He goes, "I've been around the world. I started Lipton. I've done everything." He says, "Nobody's done what you've done here." He says, this was the key word. He says, "We need to build a tea plant." And I looked at him, I go, "We?" He goes, "Yeah, because I'm going to back you up on this and I'm going to help do it." I went, wow, here we go. So we went into not only now growing this fruit, So we went into making tea, which it took a couple of years to build a tea plant, very complicated. But through that process, we wanted to make powder.
Mhm.
And so when you grow the leaves in Belize, you grow the tree, I should say, and as everybody, a lot of people don't know, but this is a complicated fruit because it's self-pollinating. And it can grow fruit up to 9, 10 months of the year if it's properly taken care of. And so we can grow mega sized fruit. And actually, I brought one that I bring back. Yeah, this is
That's so
15
pretty.
pounds. Look at
Pretty.
that thing. And look how perfect a fruit this is. You
Beautiful.
very seldom will ever see this. The farm
Beautiful.
is, yeah, I mean, this is one of our pride and joy. And so if you see the fruit, you can imagine how we take care of the trees. They're done with love. And so what we discovered was that if we took the what we call the small to baby leaf, which is not that it's small so much, it's super rich and green because it's very young. And that's what we use with our for our tea. So we pick those leaves exclusively for the tea, which are super high in the nutrients side of things. And so once that process is done, now here's what's crazy. We built the only tea plant in the world. Okay. But guess where we built it at? In the village of Tea Kettle.
Exactly.
What is the chances of that? You'll hear me say it time and time again.
Yep.
The village of Tea Kettle is where our facility's at, and we're building the only tea plant in the world for soursop leaves.
Hmm.
Unbelievable.
You have a
So
lot.
we basically go out because everybody's watching this. That leaf is what is in 90% of everything that we have available, from our tea to our powder, so on and so forth. So that leaf is picked in the morning. The guys literally go up at 5 o'clock in the morning. They got little headlamps on so they can see the trees, and they're picking these leaves. They put them in uh, boxes that are basically designed to stack in the back of a refrigerated truck in the field. And so we don't want anything to have heat. So that's why they're picked in the morning. And the reason for that is
Mhm.
the nutrients is at the highest point in the morning, the dew point's there. So that means it's full of juice and everything. So something starts to dry out in the sun, you start losing the nutrients. So those crates basically go in the back of that truck. They're cooled, and within less than 20 to 40 minutes of being picked to, let's say, an hour max, they're at the facility being processed, and they'll go through the processing at that facility in less than about 40 minutes. It's shaped, dried, tempered in different ways, so on and so forth. And then it's broke down to different sizes of a leaf when it's chopped. So it's chopped actually first in this case. So when all that is done, now we go into, and we found that grinding stones from Mother Nature. We always go back to Mother Nature again and again. God gave us this beautiful farm, all natural down in Belize. Soil is the best in the world. We don't want to take away the integrity of the product. So we use grinding stones, which are granite, 4 tons. And
Mhm.
so when we put the leaf into that, what's crazy about this is when it comes out, you guys, the compounds go up by 400% because when you put the pressure on that, it releases those compounds.
Right.
Now, we never knew that. And at what are we, the first month in January, the 2025, speaking of this, we only knew this about 8 months ago because we paid labs to do all this checking, and they come back and said, what did you guys do? This powder is off the charts.
Mhm.
So it's like, okay, so let's take a second and talk about that. So when we look at our leaf, actually the fruit has, on a scale of 1 to 10 compounds, let's say it's got up to 1. And then we take our leaf at the end of the day, it's up to about 2. Okay.
Mhm.
So once the leaf goes into the grinding stone, it goes to 5.3 or better. So those compounds really expand. And so when everybody talks about a product, you're looking at basically the tea, absorption and everything off the charts good. Then when you want the really, you want medicinal, hardcore, what I call for the body, you want that maintenance, you want to get
Mhm.
ahead of diseases, then
Mhm.
you're going really super dose on the powder. And that powder is beautiful, rich, and clean.
It
Matter
is
of fact,
beautiful.
yeah, here's, you see this one here, and this has been here
Yeah,
for a
it's
while
beautiful.
in green, but I mean, just it's elegant, actually. I get excited just to talk about it.
Mhm.
It's such a beautiful product. And the best part of it is sharing. So when we talk about the farm, talk about the products that we just went through here, you're getting them from a place we call our place in Belize, the Napa Valley of Soursop.
It looks like
because
it.
it's got the most perfect soil in the world. Everybody's come there
Hmm.
from all over the world. It has never had pesticides. It's never been polluted with DDT. The air is just unbelievable. And here's what's a lot of people don't know, and I share it every now and then, is our tea trees are at the lower part of our 400 acres on the river. Okay. So what happens with nutrients in soil and everything? It changes. And obviously it gets consumed in your trees. Well, what's really neat about this is the river rises every year and it literally will flood up to probably sometimes all the trees. And what does that do? It leaves a new layer of soil over it. And so I got all these fresh nutrients that just came out of the Mayan mountains, you guys. And the mountains there, this is really critical. I take a lot of people in there at the farm and I say, look at those mountains. What do you notice? And they go, I don't know. I go, look, they're round. They're like this. They're not peaks. Well, what is that? That's soil. So a peaked point is rock, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it's rounded soil, so when it rains up there, it comes down all the rivers and it lays right at the base of our trees, which in this particular case are our leaf for the tea and the powder. So we have the highest amount of nutrients every year that gets reloaded on top of our soil. It's the most amazing thing. And again, I go, the Mayans lived there. They knew all these things. That's why they grew things there. So anyway, so that's kind of the interesting part of the farm, how we got to where we're at today with our leaf and our powder. So
Mm-hmm.
hopefully I covered enough there.
You did, and I've heard you tell the story before, and what always amazes me is how many people found you to
Yeah.
help you, like the synchronicity of, hey, I can help you, hey, I can, help you do this, and all these experts came to be a part of the early days to get you where you are now. So that's why I asked how you were blessed because you got what you needed.
I did. And
Again,
we
in the
talk about
beginning.
experts. We got Nigel Milliken, lots of great people. But we have Charles
Hmm.
Lamoley from UCI, leading
Hmm.
oncologist in the world. He's our science officer. He did the
Hmm.
study on mice and he read all the articles on this. He said, let's do the study. He did. If it didn't shrink the tumor, it stopped the tumor.
Hmm.
That was big in mice just on the fruit. And then when he saw the compounds that was in the powder, he was like, this is the best thing in the world for cancer patients, for people that's going through chemo. The compounds are so powerful, it's insane to what it can
Hmm.
do for you. And the
Hmm.
results have been overwhelming for people with all kinds of challenges. And we
Hmm.
all know what those are.
Right.
You guys, anybody out there that has even stomach issues, drink the
Exactly.
tea. I can't tell you, just this last week, I had probably 5 people in here getting tea from me, and their mother has a problem or this problem. And they,
Hmm.
2 weeks, they go, kid, their problems are gone. That's because it's cleansing you, getting rid of parasites,
Exactly.
cleaning the body out.
Yes, we have a ton of parasites in our bodies that we
Yes,
didn't even know
yes, we
about.
do. And we know what parasites do to you.
Yeah,
Inflammation, they eat off
exactly.
inflammation, get rid of the
Yep,
inflammation out of the body.
exactly. And then they
Yes,
suck your nutrients out and you can't use them. That's the
that's right.
definition of a parasite. So, yeah. So beautiful. Now tell us how we went from there to Agravitae. What made you start Agravitae and how we came about with this beautiful logo?
Well, I think more than anything else, it was the passion to take the
Hmm.
product, although we're growing it, is like really to get it to market and care about what we're providing the market.
Yes.
And integrity of the product is everything. Everybody knows me. I'm a pain in the butt, yes. Because if it doesn't break an 8 and 8.5 to a 10 on our energy scale by our people in the office and our lab guys, it can't go in a
Hmm.
package. It will not
Yep.
have our name on it. That's bottom line to everything.
Hmm.
So I said, well, we had a skincare company that was a different name. So we changed that name. And it took about seriously a year and a half to get the name Agravitae. And I literally, I'm not ashamed to say this, I literally got tears in my eyes when they said it to me. Michelle in Hawaii said, Ken, and they presented it to me, and I went, oh my goodness, it hit me in the heart. I went, wow, this is it, finally. If I didn't have 50 names, I had 100 names to choose from. And this was the passionate one.
Yeah.
And so Agravitae stands for a grateful life.
Hmm.
So is the logo behind you.
Yes.
Everybody can see the hands are the hands of the soil of the earth, those that do work. And then if you look right in that is there's a head at the right there. You can see the head and those
Mhm.
3 leaves. That's the Mayan headband.
I love that.
So now from there we go up and then we got the leaf, all the leaves together, which is really the tree rooted in the ground through the hands. So
Hmm.
that was the basis of everything. That means what we are. who we are.
Hmm.
And we celebrate the Mayans at the same time that own this property at their given time. So
Yes.
we went from there. So we made products. And we started with skincare. Then we went into chocolates. We went into obviously teas. We've got AM, PMs. We've got tincture. We've got our
Hmm.
collagen mix, or not collagen, shilajit. So we got a variety of products that have to meet the highest standard and quality for what we do. And there's not one person that I know of. Some people have allergic reaction or something lightly took place,
Hmm.
but 99% everybody says this is an unbelievable product. We know it. And I go back to we have it energy tested. And
Yes.
energy, there's certain people have powers and they
Yes.
know when they can feel impurities of product in a second. And not only
Hmm.
the impurity of the product itself, but also our packaging. We
Yes.
got to make our packaging has to be at the highest standard to preserve that. And that's an example with our skincare line. The skincare line is the best in the world, period. But it's also in Myron glass, the best
Yes.
glass in the world to preserve it. So when
Yes.
people get this, they go, oh my goodness, everybody says the same thing. This is like the most unbelievable. And it's unscented. So the skincare is for men and women both. So
Hmm.
pride of ownership at the end of the day is everything. So
Yeah, and the quality, right? Like, and that's what people can know. And it's that part of it is hard to know unless you have someone tell you, because
yes.
most of the time we'll go to a store, we'll purchase something, but we have no idea what has happened to that product, or even if it's alive by the time you get it. But we know that this is alive, is breathing, is high energy. One of the things I love about the AM and PM capsules are the vibrant colors. I'm one of those energy people, I can feel it.
Yep.
At the same time, though, it feels very calm in the body. It doesn't jolt you,
Nope.
it doesn't send you up and down and make you weird or wiry or anything like that. And the PM capsule doesn't zonk you out. So it's a beautiful, nice, easeful experience from my experience.
Well, in the AM product, it was really a gift at the end of the day because it's done
Hmm.
such wonders for so many people for clarity, focus, energy.
Yes,
And then from
memory.
there, we're not a weight loss company.
No.
We talked about that a bit before the show and everything. We're an anti-aging company. I'm rolling
Hmm.
on into that. So,
Hmm.
so when
Yeah.
we look at this, it was really having the purity of all the products, then using the AM to amplify your focus, energy, and everything else because you could take our tea, you use the tincture, the other products, those are going to help cleanse the body. But at the
Right.
end of the day, you want to have energy. I can tell you, if I ever got one, I've got 1,000 stories by now of people that literally call me, and a lot of them in the ages of 55, 60, 70, that loss
Exactly.
on average of 20, 30 pounds. I said, we're not a weight loss company. What you're doing is you're cleaning your body. You have more energy to do stuff. You're doing
Hmm.
it yourself, really, just with our products. You needed
Right.
this. Yeah.
Yes.
And so once you get our products in your body, and what we want to do is we want to cut out the inflammation.
Right.
Inflammation is toxic. Every body at the end of the day
Hmm.
has a minimum of 2 to 3 pounds. I don't care if you're 70 pounds, you have inflammation in you. And the bigger you are and the heavier set you are, the larger,
Hmm.
the more inflammation in your body. And that's where diseases come from. Everybody knows that by now.
Right. And
So
gut health. Gut
let's
health.
cut out that inflammation.
Right. All of
Yes.
that extra stuff because of the toxins, it makes you retain fluid, and your body is trying to protect itself from the toxins that you've ingested. So we create fat cells. And so this is not only giving people the ability to get rid of inflammation, it's giving them daily nutrition, which is
Nutrition.
important. We got to
Yeah.
have nutrition.
We got
So,
to.
right?
Oh yeah, well, we talked a little bit earlier, and I hope everybody gets this, but the graviola tree again, as you think
Exactly.
about it, you got a tree that grows fruit year round. I know what I'm saying it, but the leaf is the medicine, the fruit is the nutrients of this tree. The
Hmm.
two of those together is a
Hmm.
miracle. Seriously, you
Hmm.
don't find this,
Hmm.
so
Right.
enjoy it, and
And
it
even
comes from the most prestigious place.
Right. And although there's other things on the market that, that's out there, but they don't have the same story, they don't have the same energy, they don't have the same love. We can't track where it comes from. So once it leaves Belize, what happens here in the States?
Well, so let's go through the process. So
Yeah.
the just quickly on the fruit, the fruit is handpicked at its ripest point. Our
Mm-hmm.
trees are touched and sung to daily. You guys, we've got 40, 50 people in the field every day. They hand pollinate. They
Yep.
know every aspect of this tree Seriously, how big the fruit's growing at what time frame. So let's take the fruit for a second. We pick that fruit at its ripest point. It goes to our facility. It's literally picked in hours, not within a day or two, shipped to some place. Literally leaves or we're on the farm itself, and it's
Mm-hmm.
picked. And from there it goes in and it's frozen so they can come to the States. And
Mm-hmm.
then it will go into juice and everything. So now the leaf, as you guys heard me earlier say, the leaf basically comes from the field, goes through its process. Now it is basically packaged in usually 100-pound bags, and it's sent to our processing facility in Utah and or
Mm-hmm.
other, depending where we're
Okay.
having bottling done. And it
Mm-hmm.
goes to certified facilities that
Exactly.
meet the highest standard that there is to bottle for us in our vegan capsules, so on and so forth, so
Mm-hmm.
that we can make sure that we have the highest standard. So we are one of the few companies that you guys that literally grow the product,
Exactly.
seed from the seed planted in the ground, managed all the way to your shelf through our process to make sure it stays at the highest standard. So
Mm-hmm.
very critical. And so there's nothing in between there that we go to a third party and have them actually, we
Right.
don't own the manufacturing facilities. I want to be clear there. But they do our process, and these are high standard quality places.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them are intrigued. They love to do our business because they don't have soursop. They don't have any of these products. So it's something new to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no foolishness. We have no foolishness, right? It's very important to talk about that because, it's important for a consumer, I think, to know that this is something they can trust. And you said the capsules are vegan. Even
They,
what we put them in is a vegan capsule that
yeah,
people are taking. That's important to me. So,
we
yeah.
got, we make chocolate bars, you can see, which we're not going to probably have those for much longer. So if you can get them, grab them while you can, because the
Mm.
price of cacao has went up 500%.
Mm.
And so, and our chocolate bars have shilajit in them. They've
Mm-hmm.
got graviola powder, organic raspberry, and the beans come from the surrounding property adjacent to our farm within miles of. So we got cacao out of our backyard in Belize.
That's beautiful. And actually, if it's the end of January going into February, we're going to have some specials, I think, for those who are listening at this time with the chocolate bars. So,
Chocolate bars,
about
get those.
Valentine's Day is coming. So, I think we're going to,
85% chocolate bar.
yeah, I think we're going to do something special for that. So, but it's interesting to see how things are shifting. You mentioned that one may not be around, but I know you have some stuff up your sleeve.
Oh yeah. Oh,
going around, so we won't miss it because we'll have some other beautiful things coming. Can we talk a little bit more about anti-aging because I know you're very passionate about it, but we're talking about anti-aging from a cellular level all the way up to the organism itself, the outside of what we see. So how would you like to talk more about the anti-aging piece of what we offer?
well, I gotta go back to Charles Lamoley
Mm-hmm.
because Charles says, Ken, at the end of the day, you're a superfood company, but you're an anti-aging company.
Exactly.
He says, anti-aging is about cleaning the body, that
Mm-hmm.
we keep it clean so we don't age. And that's why we made the skincare and we made our products. So really, at the end of the day, I just say, if you're on this, you're anti-aging.
Oh no, we're frozen. There we go.
I lose you.
No, you were there. It just froze for a second. You were talking about anti-aging and you froze just for a minute.
Yeah,
So
I'm
it's
going to move
okay.
into my connectivity in another room here.
Okay.
Yeah, so let me go here. The so when we look, well, let me turn this way. The So the anti-aging aspect of it, from a cellular aspect to cleansing the body, we all know what it is. It's all about cleansing. So we actually have less inflammation. We go back to our talk about inflammation
Mm-hmm.
and everything in the body that is actually going to be good for us. And it goes back to one thing with what we have in products. I also highly encourage the highest quality of water. You need a good quality water to go with this because so often it's actually getting your cells moving. And we don't sell it, but we use John Ellis water. So I make hydrogen water here.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys, I can't tell you enough of people that come visit. They need to cleanse their body. They get water from us. And I can tell you in 2 to 3 weeks, I'll come back in the office, I'll see their face shrink down. And I go, wow, in 2 to 3 weeks, you've
Yep.
lost 30 pounds just by cleansing. And
Right.
I don't focus on weight loss. That's not it. It's about cleansing the body's giving you that. And you just because you lose it doesn't mean you should stop.
Yep.
I say that everybody knows that. Stay within that routine. You can
Hmm.
still have a good lifestyle, but just change your routine. One of the biggest things that you can do, and I don't want to get in this kick and everything and telling everybody, but the first thing you need to do in the morning is wash your mouth out thoroughly, brush your teeth, scrape your tongue off. Your tongue is a petri dish. So
Hmm.
all night long it dries, it builds up gunk on it. Well, if you swallow that in the morning, what's it do? It goes in your stomach. That's the last
Bacteria.
place you want it. It's
Hmm.
got to digest. So don't do that. So wash your mouth out, brush your tongue, spit it out. Then go drink. Really, you should drink about 24 ounces of water instantly because that's going to extend your intestinal tract because your intestinal tract dries out overnight.
Hmm.
So you want to fill it back up with water. And now hit it with the nutrients of the day. So that's like I drink the tea, I take the vitamins. Our product, obviously, our powder, I take it
Hmm.
daily.
Hmm.
It's just critical for it. So
Hmm.
we're anti-aging, push that, push it, push it. You see it in the colors of people's eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the
it shows
skin
up
glows.
right away. So that's kind of that where I get on that side of it, and I don't go in great detail because everybody can. I got other people that get into it, but yeah, one of the key things, if your intestinal tract is working well, you're in good shape.
Hmm.
And that takes fluid cleansing of it. It is one of our friends says it's the sewer system of your body. If
Hmm.
it backs up, we got a problem, right? We
Exactly.
don't want it backed up. And the
Exactly.
more water in your body, the better off you are. And that
Right.
goes to our tea. So you really
Hmm.
want to be loading yourself up. I recommend daily our tea. Oh,
Yes.
I have a big pot of it actually at all times. Right now, if I took you and showed it to you, I have
Hmm.
people knock on my door in this building and can I get a cup of your tea? Absolutely. I share with everybody. It's
Yes.
about that. Drink
Exactly.
drink a pot of that a day. You're going to see all the difference. I'm about energy,
Exactly.
you can tell. So,
Me too, exactly.
yeah,
And I think talking about energy more and more and more and more is important because you can feel it, but you can't always see it, but you know it when it's there. So the energetics are very important. It's very high vibration, is what we're taking in. And so
very
that
high.
increases our vibration when we take in something that has a higher vibration to it. So that's why some people may feel, a little bit of a boing, or they may feel different because they're finally taking something that's actually giving them some buzz. It's giving their body what it needs, and you get used to it. So you have a lot of energy. So your all of our bodies needs this all of these different products. What are your favorites?
Oh
Your
boy.
Agravitae favorites?
Yeah. Well, my day starts out kind of like I said right there just a few minutes ago
Right.
is water in the morning. And the first thing in the morning, I actually take my graviola leaf powder capsules
Mm-hmm.
because I want to get that into my body first thing in the morning because it consumes it right away. So your intestinal tract is clean. So I start out with that. And then I get to my office, which is about a 20-minute drive.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing I do is about I'm going to say probably 20 more ounces of water. Then I have my tea.
Okay.
So now I went from my Shilajit powder capsules to my tea.
Mm-hmm.
So that really gets me flowing. And then guess what? I like my AM. I
Yes.
pop an AM and it's just about 10 minutes. I go, whoop, whoop, all right,
Uh-huh. Keep
we're
going.
rocking and rolling. And sometimes I'll have a half a cup of coffee with it. And
Okay.
so that is really the start of my day.
Mm-hmm.
Now I use the tincture every now and then. It's not heavy, and I don't eat too much of our chocolate and everything, but I love to have in the middle of the day our chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody comes in and they always, can I get a chocolate bar? No, but you can have a chunk. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So
let's.
though, as far as products go, we got the AM, the Shilajit, the tea. To me, those are three key things all day long. And then the tincture is a
Mm-hmm.
hot item. Put it under your tongue.
I like the tincture.
Yeah, everybody loves
Hmm.
the tincture. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, I take the tincture and I put it in the tea. So
Mm-hmm.
now
I do,
I'm
yes.
super compounding the tea. Yeah, at the end of
Exactly.
the day.
Right.
So
And it's got a little sweetness to it, so you don't need to add honey or sugar unless you just want to, but the tincture
no,
is
yeah,
enough.
it's on its own. It is a
Yeah, you
rock
don't
star
need it.
product.
Exactly.
Speak of the tincture, it is such a hot item. It's
Hmm.
made. We have a gentleman make it, and he's got his exclusive formula for us to make it, which has been just unbelievable.
Hmm.
But we have a lot of people that get that for animals.
Oh,
They
I didn't
get
know that.
Yes, their cats, their dogs. Matter of fact, somebody I just sent powder to, which is not tincture, for their horse. We've got
Yeah.
veterinarians ordering tincture for animals like crazy.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Actually, our Tim just called me, says, Ken, we need another 20,000 bottles of tincture. I'm
Oh,
like,
that's
wow,
cool.
yeah. So tincture for your animals, put it on their food, put it, whatever it may be,
Yeah.
put it in their water dish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
huge.
that's
A
really big.
tincture for pets. Can we
Yeah.
talk about children or ages? Like what have we found with some of our younger populations of people with the tinctures
Well, there's been
or the tea?
people with challenges of different types,
Mm-hmm.
autism, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how many people have said, Ken, my child has calmed down. This has happened. This has taken
Mm-hmm.
place. I've got people that had yellow eyes and have
Yeah.
taken the picture and have cleared up. My wife is a perfect example of that.
Mm-hmm.
She was having eye problems for quite some time and started taking the tincture and put John Ellis water in her eyes, and it cleared up within 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this is crazy. We go back to Mother Nature, pure
Exactly.
and clean. God gave us all this stuff. We're just polluted by our environment today. So we're
Exactly.
battling that. Yeah.
Exactly. Can we talk about Shilajit? Because you mentioned Shilajit.
Oh
So
boy.
let's talk about Shilajit because some people may not have heard of it. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting.
Shilajit, basically, I got to tell the story. I came across it years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to put it into our chocolate or cacao bars. And so it took me about a year to find anything that qualified by my naturalist group and everything else as high quality.
Mm-hmm.
We made our chocolate bars, which has got Shilajit in it. And then I said, we need to make a capsule out of high quality Shilajit with our leaf powder. So it took 2 more years.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't try 50 to 100 products, they went downstairs and Ashley would go, Ken, this is not good quality. It's a 5. It's not an 8 to a 10. And I go, in this category, I really want a 9 and a 10.
Mm-hmm.
So bottom line is, over a course of time, actually we came across a shilajit, and a shilajit basically is a tar.
Yeah.
And this shilajit that I found came from the Himalayan mountainside on the Russia side. And this particular one comes from 18,000 foot elevation, which is about 100 million years old. Now, who would ever think that you would put something in your body that's 100 million years old that's good for you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's because what happened is the ice age crushed the plant life and everything.
Right.
And when it crushed it, it created a tar. And that tar seeps out of the side of the mountains, especially when it gets warm. And
Mm-hmm.
so the Himalayan mountains, the monkeys and the elephants on the other side of it go up there, and that's what they eat. They're up there all the time eating this off the side of the mountain, but low altitude. You want something that's at least 10 to 12,000 minimum feet, which is tough to find. Nobody tells you any of this.
Mm-hmm.
And that shilajit is out of the pollution zone. So India is badly polluted. The world has got pollution. So you really want to have shilajit that's above. Well, ours comes from the Russian side, which is clean, and at 18,000 foot. And so you'll see these guys, they're chipping it off. It's a block, and then they break it down. So we've got a special process that we take that shilajit and make it into powder. And
Mm-hmm.
then we mix with that powder our leaf powder, which has
Right.
got the compounds of 400% stronger. So the two of those in your body, minerals with everything that comes from the leaf,
Amazing.
is like the super dosing for the body. Now, most people don't know this, but you can't absorb vitamins without your
Your
mineral content
minerals.
in your body.
Exactly. And your
You're
enzymes.
defeating the whole purpose at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're taking synthetic vitamins.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just even, it's so little you're getting out of it. So Shilajit is a rock star product. Can't say enough about it. The results off of it's been insane. And down the road,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to have an upgraded version of what we have now. So we'll see what happens in due time. But you guys get the Shilajit. You can't go wrong. And this is the highest standard. If you got anybody that is an energy expert,
Mm-hmm.
take it to them and they'll do, oh my goodness, they do the same thing. This is unbelievable energy in this. That's
Yeah.
because it's the best, highest quality, full of energy now. So
Right.
shilling it all the way with the leaf powder is an unbelievable rock star product.
Right. And that's something someone can take every day as a part of their
Every day.
daily
I,
daily
I
nutrition.
And that's what I take every morning. That's my
Mm-hmm.
3 capsules every single morning of that. It says 2,
Mm-hmm.
I take 3.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know because there are some creative minds in our beautiful business. Everyone takes the products the best way that they can for themselves. We have recommended information on them how you can take it, but some people need a little bit more. Some people need a little
Yeah.
bit less. So we have the ability to have some flexibility with that as well. So that's really interesting to hear. I can only take one AM capsule.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
That's
I
all I
can
need.
only take one, but it works and it works for me the whole day. So everyone is different, and that's the beauty of it.
You know what's amazing is on the AM capsule, and I ask a lot of people
Hmm.
about, everybody think you don't get jittered. It's none of that.
No.
And you've got the energy, but I go so fast because I got 1,000 things going on, and so
Mhm.
I like to take 10 to 15 minutes. I can have an AM, and I can take 15 minutes, go down quickly, come right back out, and have that energy still. I've never found anything to be able to do that.
Right. And
Yeah.
the PM, some people take in the daytime, I've noticed. So
Oh,
everyone is
I've heard
different because
everything.
we need calm, right?
Yep.
And you might need to be calm throughout the day. It doesn't zonk you out. It doesn't feel like a, sleeping pill or anything like that. It's got plenty of healthy herbs in there to make you more even, and everyone's in fight or flight. And so one of the things that I'm passionate about is restoration, and that's is a beautiful restoration product. So
Absolutely.
yes. So I think the last question I had for you was, what's your vision for the company and where are we going this year?
The the vision's always been or going to be the same for me, and that's actually taking the product, staying at the highest quality, not compromising there,
Mm-hmm.
and get it out to the masses. And
Yes.
so, we've been working on that, and it takes energy, time, focus,
Mm-hmm.
and little by little, you've got to shift and turn. The markets change and everything else, and you got to work with them. Well, the markets and I believe in our space is change for the good as our
Mm-hmm.
administration is focusing on a healthier environment from the FDA, so on and
Mm-hmm.
so forth. I think they're going to be pushing this along. So I think we're on a good bandwagon at the moment to take advantage of the marketplace with our unbelievable product. And no
Mm-hmm.
products compare to ours. We've tested, you guys. Everybody out there, we have tested from teas that have arsenic in them from all over the place. They're not processed, they're not done correctly.
Mm-hmm.
This is critical. So it's about sharing that word and telling my friends, no, you can buy that stuff and it's a lot less money. It's not quality. I mean,
Exactly.
I spent the money to do this. We're in this for so much money. I mean, ungodly multi
Imagine.
millions and millions and millions to get to this point to make sure it's of the highest standard. So telling our story, our
Mm-hmm.
focus is telling that story one way or another, getting it to the marketplace to make a difference so that we can be a group one day, hopefully at the farm in Belize, going, hallelujah, look what we have here and eating fruit together, healthy.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the message for the social retailers to share and share from a place of quality and trust. And that's what I wanted to build today is trust. So when someone hears about how much effort, time, money, energy, passion that you've put into this and all of us sharing that passion, it becomes a social mission to help people, to really help people heal. And that's where it comes from. It comes from the heart.
When you go and see the farm, I just got back
Hmm.
last week and I had guests down there. And they all do the same thing. They go, Ken, until you're here, you can't believe it. And I want everybody out there to know when you have a fresh coconut every morning, not one, but probably 20 to 40 at your door, and you're drinking that coconut water that came off the tree probably an hour earlier, you're absorbing that air that is like 98%, 99% oxygen because you're in the jungle, just full of oxygen. The
Hmm.
water is the purest, cleanest, not been tainted in any way. Then you're going to eat an apple banana, which is going to make you just, oh my goodness, the best banana in the world that's never been gassed.
Right.
It's, everything's pure and clean that comes from the farm. And if you get the chance to come down and visit the farm, you're going to leave like everybody. And there's people, and this is watching it. They go, we've been there. It is like a
Hmm.
dream come true. You don't want to leave. And you see what Mother Nature has still given us down in Belize that is still
Hmm.
organic.
Hmm.
That's
Yes.
the beauty of we're able to take that and bottle it, basically package it and bring it here for
Hmm.
us to enjoy. So
Yes.
hopefully we'll be together one day down there and be able to do a piece down there.
I'm
together.
ready to go. Yes, I
Let's
would
go.
love to do that. We need a documentary. We need a
We'll do
full
it.
documentary so we can see all the beauty. I've seen the pictures, but I know it's going to do no justice until you put your feet on the ground. So I want to put
When,
my
when
bare
you
feet on the ground.
when you see a piece of fruit like I showed you, 15 pounds hanging off a limb, the size of my thumb,
Beautiful.
you just go, wow. That's how
Yeah.
strong the tree is. So
Right.
yeah,
That's true. We never really thought about it that way. And the fruit is something we're going to see shining bright, moving towards the future. Right
yep,
now, we're shining bright on our leaves, but I'm hearing that there's something coming possibly
there is.
for the
Keep
fruit.
it in mind, repeating, but the leaf is the most powerful thing for the
Hmm.
body, for cleansing,
Yes.
anti-aging, all those categories. The
Right.
compounds are the very highest in the powder.
Exactly. And that's
Get
what
the
we
powder
have.
product, powder and leaf and tincture into your body ASAP.
Yes, exactly.
All
And
right.
finally, what are you most grateful for?
I'm grateful for God.
Absolutely.
So it starts there. It all
Absolutely.
starts there. We were blessed. Everybody said, Ken, you're so lucky. No, I wasn't lucky.
Blessed.
This was a blessing. It was meant to
Hmm.
be that I got this farm with only 2,000 trees, never knew a fruit, into where we're at today.
Hmm.
And God created that. I did. I haven't
Hmm.
created it. I'm just a manager of this. Seriously.
Yes.
So I've
Yes.
been gifted there.
You
And that's
have been.
I have been. I'm very blessed and thankful every single day. And I say it every morning when I pray.
Yes, me
Yeah.
too. So thank you for having me and inviting me to be a part of this as well. And with that, I think we can conclude our interview time together. Thank you so much for coming. We had a good time. Thank you.
Thank you and appreciate you. And everybody enjoy your day out there or evening. Take care.
That's right.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Take care.
Um,